Hey guys, Daryl here.
I'm Nick.
We are gonna go over some things you can do to make sure that your skydiving career stays safe and healthy.
Today we're gonna start focusing on some warm-up exercises that you can do. Chances are, as you're commuting to the drop zone or the tunnel, you've been sitting in your car for a while and your body's still kind of cold, right? So we wanna go ahead and prepare our body physically and mentally for the task ahead.
We have 2 rounds of an increasing difficulty and top to bottom approach for movement. It's gonna start off with the smaller muscle groups up top. We're gonna do a lower range of motion movements, and then we're gonna move it down to something that's gonna be a little more dynamic and a little more large muscle group recruitment type deals. We'll start pushing, pulling a little bit with our upper bodies. We'll move to some rotational exercises. And then lastly, we'll get to stretching the lower body, posterior chain mainly. The first movement is the Scap Push Up. Nick is gonna get into a plank position with his arms fully locked out, and his butt is gonna be squeezed to prevent any sagging of the hips. From here, with his arms locked out, he's just gonna drop into his shoulder sockets and press right out of it. Again, the emphasis is on keeping those arms locked out and a nice neutral neck position with those hips raised up. The next movement is a push-up to down dog. Nick is again gonna get into a plank position with his hands directly under his shoulders. And as he goes down, he's gonna try and keep about a 45-degree angle with his arms, preventing him from going too wide and only using his chest. Now from here, he's gonna do a push-up, get to the down dog position that many of you may be familiar with from yoga, and do his best to keep his heels on the ground. From here, you'll pause for a second, back to the plank position, back to a push-up, back to a down. The next movement is the arm circle. So this one's pretty self-explanatory. Instead of making large or small circles, we're gonna make a medium size somewhere in between. You're actually going to use a little bit of momentum to generate forward and a little bit of momentum to generate backwards. All right, the next movement is the mountain climber. Nick is gonna find himself in a plank position one more time. We're gonna show 2 variations of this, the second one being easier than the first. That way, if you have any sort of limitations, you're able to do some sort of mountain climber movement. Nick's gonna go ahead and start by bringing one foot outside of the palm of his hand, and then simultaneously switch for a couple reps at a time. The easier option here would be to go with a more shallow movement. That way, you're able to switch a little more without the hamstring mobility and the hip mobility that you would need. The next movement is the Russian twist. Nick is gonna find a comfortable seat on the ground. You can either cross or uncross your legs, but it is important that these heels stay off of the ground. From here, Nick is going to keep his butt on the ground and just rotate at the torso, touching each side, maintaining full core engagement the entire time. The next movement is the twisting Samson lunge. Nick is gonna set up in a proper standing position, both feet directly under his hips facing straight forward. He will take a small step, 45 degrees angle away from his body, drop that back knee and ensure that both feet are facing his center line. From here, he's gonna twist left, twist right, go back to the starting position and repeat on the other side. The next movement is a reverse lunge. Nick is gonna go ahead and start with his feet directly under his hips facing straight forward. From here, he's gonna take a 45 degrees angle step out and away behind him, very gently dropping his knee and ensuring that his feet are both facing towards the center line. Again, we wanna create a wider base instead of walking on a tightrope. As he steps back, he's gonna keep a nice big upright chest, no caving of it. The next movement is a shuffle step. Nick is gonna start by picking a side, and then he's gonna drop into a partial squat position, take short choppy steps one direction, and ensure that he's facing the same way on the way back. We want neutral feet here, just falling in theme with the rest of our movement. The next movement is a deep lunge. Nick is gonna set himself up as he has been, but now he's gonna get into a lunge position and maintain that position until this rep is done. He's gonna drop the inside elbow. So same side elbow to the same side foot. He's gonna go ahead and bounce 3 times and then switch sides. As you get more and more warm during this movement, you can pause for a second at the bottom. This next movement is a pausing hamstring bounce. Nick is gonna interlace his fingers, set his feet up about 4 to 6 inches apart, and he's gonna unlock his knees and reach back with his hips, bouncing up and down. And just like a deep lunge, as you get warmer, you can pause for longer periods of time at the bottom.